Hello, World of Tank Blitzers. It's Littlefinger. Happy Friday, November 4th. We've got a new month, new battle pass. Hey, before I get started, just wanted to ask for any of you that are out there still not subscribed to my site, please hit that subscribe button. Much appreciated. So we've got a new battle pass. It is called Operation Roaring Lion. As you see here in the garage, it's the Churchill W, slightly modified from the Churchill 7. Gets a little bit more speed, a little bit faster turret and traverse speeds. Still plagued with that 4 degrees of gun depression, so difficult to play on hills. But I tell you what, with all of the spaced armor around it, it was pretty fun to play. I do have a game I want to show you. I'll try to put it here at the end, assuming that this review doesn't go too long, because there's not a lot of new stuff in the store to talk about. So with the Battle Pass, you can purchase the $20 pass that gets you the premium pass and the license, and 20 additional levels automatically completed. The tank itself sits at level 30, so it'll be very easy to get to the tank. Really what you only need is a premium pass, and then make sure that you're playing your missions on a daily basis. As I mentioned in my last review last week, I had spent 2 weeks without playing a game on this account. And because I had the license, I was able to complete just about as many missions as I needed to within a day or two. However, I was not able to fill up those all-important vaults. So just follow with me real quick. Everyone gets everything on the top line for free. You buy the premium pass, you get everything on the bottom line as well. And one of the things as we get towards the end here at level 59, this increases your vault size to 2,000 gold. So if you can maximize this, you're going to pull over 3,000 gold from this event. Like I've said before, it's really good for people that are still grinding tech tree tanks because there are quite a few little 5x boosters along the way. So just be wary of that, kind of a pitfall that I fell into last week or last month because I didn't play enough regular battles to complete my missions on a daily basis. So I'll go ahead and talk about the Caliban now, as this is a new British tier 8 heavy tank with a huge gun on it. And looking at the stats, it kind of makes me laugh a little bit. So you've got a 21-second reload. Your AP round does 580 damage. Your high explosives, I'm assuming this is Hesh, 170, pen, 860 damage. That's some big numbers. However, keep in mind, 7.2 aim time and a 0.5 dispersion. Those are some pretty horrible numbers. So interesting to see how this plays. It is in crates only, 5% drop chance. You have to get 30 charms to guarantee yourself to get this tank. And there's no way that I'm spending that kind of money on gambling crates in order to get a tank that I'm not even sure if it's going to be that great either. Let's go ahead and just skip down here to the resources. These resources really aren't great deals. We're talking $5 for 2,000 gold and a few 5x boosters. We really want to see our gold numbers up there, definitely in the 450 plus gold per dollar range, and that isn't here on this bundle. Keep in mind here as we go into my next point, they're asking for 250 gold per garage slot, right? And we'll just go ahead and do it now. The fast and accurate, we see this quite a bit. Tier 2 tanks, T7 car used to be really fun in the day. I'm sure it still is fun. It's got a quite a large magazine, 3 shots per, and so it basically carries 9 shots in it per reload. And it used to be nimble and fast and be able to move around. Not sure how it does these days on penning. T16, E6, I don't know if you're really going to play these tanks too much, but where I'm headed with this is that for $3, you're going to get tanks worth $1,500. So, you're putting yourself in that 400 range, plus you're getting 2 garage slots out of that when you go ahead and sell those tanks, if that's what you decide to do. So keep that in mind as a kind of a unique way to potentially get some gold in return for some low tier tanks that you might only play for a little bit and then you can sell. All right, so we've got the Steel Snipers, a bundle between the Turtle and the T-28 concept at tier 7. The Turtle is a British heavy tank at tier 8. A little bit faster than the AT tanks, doesn't have that ginormous weak spot that the AT tanks do. So it does fare a little bit better on the battlefield. It is team dependent because of its lack of speed, top speed of 20 kilometers per hour, which at tier 8, you've got mediums going twice as fast as you there. So just keep that in mind when you look at the tank. The price really has dropped quite considerably. This is a fairly new tank within the last 2 years, I would imagine. And so for $7,500 for the tank itself at tier 8 is a reasonable price for the tank itself. Now, I do like the T-28 concept. It is very unique in its play style because it has quite a range of motion for the turret here. And really your 2 weak spots are going to be the gun mantlets here on each side. So if you can find yourself a building, and let's say the building's over here, and you can put this gun around the corner, hiding this spot with the building, and obviously you're hiding this spot with the tank itself, it does become quite a solid tank to play. So just keep that in mind. 3,500 gold, not bad. And really not a bad deal for the bundle itself. But just keep in mind these are tank destroyers. They're a little bit slower. Probably meant to be more frontline tank destroyers than backline. And so that's probably the best play style for them. 121B we talked about last week. With the meta, the number of heavy tanks at tier 10, playing medium tanks is a little stressful and is not that easy to be done. So it does take players with a little bit more map awareness skills and being able to relocate on maps using the tank speed to get around and avoid some of those heavy tanks. Again, we've seen the smashing platoon. This thing must be like a good seller or something, or else I keep bringing it back to try to get people to buy it. I don't understand, but we've seen this bundle so often. The Chrysler K is by far and away the best of these 2 tanks. You can see that here in the pricing of them. They're both tier 8 heavy tanks, 6,000, 7,500. So I don't like this as a bundle because you've got 2 tanks that are essentially the exact same. So like I said, this is a pretty short little review on the store. They've changed out, added the Gravedigger for your esports. If you've got tournament coins, 11,500. It's quite a lot, but it would essentially be a free tank if you have that many of coins laying around. The Progetto there for 16 is definitely a lot, especially we've seen that tank for free this past year. So, I'm not really going to go into any of the other containers. I wanted to go ahead and play this replay here of the Churchill W on Desert Sands. This is a supremacy battle. We are going to go ahead and fast forward here to get to the action. You can see that the KV-2 pushed right up into the middle. I like to swing on the outside and try to side scrape off of the building here because you oftentimes get a lot of heavies coming through the middle here. But when we've backed all the way up and we don't see anybody coming, I want to try and move in here and get an angle on that M6. The KV-2 comes back around to the heavy side. And we've got a couple spotted tanks there over at A, and we're just trying to put this M6 away. And I noticed that this Medjay is really just not doing well and feeling like I need to make a push. And without a doubt, this is a bad move on my part. Why? Well, we've only had 4 tanks get spotted up until this point. So when I try to cross back across here to get behind the buildings, because I know there's tanks over here, I just get eaten up by that SU and probably one other tank. So you can see we've taken a lot of damage just to get rid of that M6. And we take another one there from the WZ. I didn't even realize that that was possible to get into that position and have that angle over the building there. So good spot, potential good spot for the future. I just didn't realize that these guys were going to be this patient and all of them sit there on that back line unspotted. We've got the T-25, and this is where you really start to notice this 4 degrees of gun depression. I mean, it's barely nothing at all. However, on the move, not that you're moving fast, the gun is fairly accurate, and we start to now get a few bounces and use our armor a little bit better. So trying to make a decision here. Do I go forward and help the VK, or do we just sit back here? And I'm expecting them to maybe push on to B. They've certainly got a tank advantage on us here. There goes that M. Sherman. He was one of those tanks sitting in the back. It's 4-2 at the moment. And here we go with the lovely bounces. Lovely blind shot. And we just want to get this guy taken out. And there it is. So 3-4 at the moment. 5-3. And in 1 second, my teammate's going to go down here, making this a 4-on-1. However, we do have 2 caps, and we still have quite a few one-shots here. 3 of these guys are one-shots, so I'm surrounded. There's nothing else I can do, but this guy shoots a little bit too early, and like I'm talking about, we have got that spaced armor around that front wheel, allowing us to bounce that shot. And we've got a KV2. We've got no choice here. We have to just hope that we can beat that WZ on the trigger, and we do. And now it's 1v1, and we're trying to outrun a KV2 in this very slow tank. He's not pursuing me at the moment, so we're just going to sit in a position. I don't have to pull forward. He could simply just throw one HE shell at me and finish me off. Now that he's not spotted, I didn't want him coming around, but now we know that he's in B. We're at 975, so we can put it in park and say good game. Sorry, your 4-on-1 failed there. And that was my first battle in this tank. It was quite a heartbreaker, or got my heart racing, I should say. Those are the kind of battles that I really enjoy and wish I had more of. Unfortunately, that was not an ace. The damage number was not high, but we did finish off there with the Klobanov and those 3 straight kill shots in a row. 5 kills overall, 1,042 damage. So that's it. Hope you guys have a great weekend. And of course, get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger out.